So I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and while we were having this conversation and just pretty much like catching up, they were telling me about all this stuff that was going on in their lives and naming off X, Y, and Z and how they felt like they were pretty much overwhelmed and stressed out and not able to focus on their mental health or their own happiness. And they felt like once all the things that they had going on in their life started to settle and they were in more of a space of feeling back to what they were before all that stuff started happening, that then they would be able to focus and be able to decide to be better than where they were at this present moment. And it got me to thinking that why do we wait all the time for life to be perfect to decide to be happy? I think that we all fall victim to this. We always think, when I get my money better, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. When I'm not so busy anymore, I can focus on X, Y, and Z. When this bad thing that's happening in my life right now is over, I'll be happy. I'll feel fine. I won't be so stressed out. But it's like, why can't we just do that now? In the midst of all of life's craziness, which we know is inevitable and we know is just going to keep on happening, why can't we just decide to be happy despite all that? And on an even deeper level, when you think about people who are diagnosed with things like cancer or certain terminal illnesses that there's nothing that they can really do about, and they know that death is imminent and inevitable, they still decide to be happy. They still decide to be content. And that must be, I would only imagine it would be one of the scariest feelings to just know there's a sickness inside of me, a disease inside of me that is killing me, and it's going to kill me rather soon. And I still got to decide that I'm going to spend my last days being happy, even though no one pretty much could say they have it worse in life than me right now. And I think there's something to be said about that because at the end of the day, you only can do what you can do about the things that are happening to you. And that's just what it is. If something's going on in your life that you deem negative or is not ideal, you can only do what you can do about it. Other than that, it is what it is. But I don't think that you should put off your happiness, put off your peace because these things are happening to you. These things are always going to happen. So if you decide that, okay, I'm going to wait until things aren't happening anymore and then I'll be happy, then everything will be okay, then my life will be perfect, you might mess around and just never be happy. You're going to look around one day, your whole life is going to pass by. And that's how people end up having those midlife crisis, if you ask me, because of the fact that they feel like they spent so much of their time not focused on the present. Now that they've realized it's now the past, they want to go back. And there is no going back, which is why you should just decide that right now is the time to take action. Right now is the time to decide that, you know what, my life, it may not be where I want it to be. My situation may not be ideal. And if I could, I would change it. And I'm actually working on changing it. I'm doing what I can do. But until that happens, I'm not just going to sit around upset. I'm not just going to sit around sad. I'm not just going to sit around angry and taking it out on everybody else and on everything else going on in my life because of the fact that, oh, I'm not where I want to be in life right now. Most people aren't where they want to be in life right now. So that's another thing to think about. Not that you should compare yourself to others in a negative way, but you should remember that we all experience that. If not constantly, at least at some point in our lives. So at the end of the day, it's like you're not even going through something that's exclusive to just you. It's not even like you have this bad luck or you are always so unfortunate to be going through negative stuff all the time. We all have stuff, but it's not about what happens to you, it's about how you handle it. And when you decide that, okay, this negative thing is happening, or I'm in this bad mental space, or I'm not where I want to be right now, everything is less than ideal, and just still decide to be happy despite all that, your strength, mentally and physically, is going to exceed what you even expected. Because you're going to realize after you decide to still be happy in the eye of despair, nothing is ever going to really be able to really phase you again. Because if you decided to be happy through this, anything that comes your way, you're not only going to be able to handle it better and not let it stress you out so easily, not get so worked up so quickly, but you're also going to be a more critical thinker. You're going to be that person that everyone's going to be able to rely on, because you're going to be that person who, when things go down, people are going to look to see what you do. Because at the end of the day, they see that, wow, this situation seems bad, or I thought it was bad, but look how this person's handling it. Not that it's not that bad anymore, but maybe I can start handling situations like that. If you even think about when you have someone around you that's really upset about something, and if you've never done this before, I dare you to try this. You have someone around you that's really upset about something. You give them a different perspective on it, like, hey, listen, at least this is going on, but at least you have this. At least you're still alive. At least you're still breathing. See the way that the person reacts to that. Give them a whole different perspective. When you see that they're freaking out and you see that they're so caught up in the minutia of what's going on in their world, give them a different perspective and see how they react. Most people, I feel, will come around and be like, you know what? You're right. And instantly calm down. Instantly. Now, if they don't, there might be, other situations there. But I feel like most people will be able to hear what you're saying, think about it in that way, and totally have a whole different attitude going forward, because of the fact that you can still choose to be happy or have a different perspective, even though things are not perfect. So I think that what we need to do as people is start realizing that we have the choice. We're so powerful in so many different ways, and we don't give ourselves credit for it, because so many things is literally just about our choices. Damn near everything is just about our choices and how we decide we're going to handle a situation. So if you decide today, we're all on this path together, we're all on this journey, trying to get somewhere, trying to achieve something, trying to learn. And even though it's a path, it's always going to be a path. Because even when you reach your destination, it's only going to unlock more doors and more paths for you to get other places. But don't think because you're not there that you got to wait to get there to feel happy, to feel at peace, to love your life, to love the people around you, to wake up and feel excited about the day and what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, you do not have to wait for life to be perfect to choose to be happy.